The overwhelming academic consensus is that the creation account in Genesis 1 is an originally distinct and independent account from the creation account of Genesis 2 and 3. Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion. And most scholars think that the creation account in Genesis 2 and 3 is an older, more basic account of creation. It features a more limited, anthropomorphic, corporeal deity who has nothing to do with the creation of the heavens, but is just focused on causing things to grow on earth. And this deity directly manipulates raw materials and makes noise as they walk through the garden, and has to fix their creation because features of it end up being not good. By contrast, the deity of Genesis 1 is a transcendent deity who creates by divine fiat, and who doesn't have to fix anything because immediately upon creation they observe that their creation is good. And many scholars would suggest that Genesis 1, which is the priestly creation account, was actually composed precisely to replace and supersede the account of Genesis 2 by correcting things that it did not like about that earlier creation account. But now we have both of them, and this is probably the result of the folks responsible for gathering and curating these collections erring on the side of comprehensiveness rather than on the side of consistency. And so they probably copied both accounts down on a single scroll, leaving us to treat them as if they were one single consistent narrative, and they are not. And there are interesting implications of this. There are a lot of folks who like to leverage the account of Genesis 2 and 3 in support of certain dogmas. Things like male headship, with the curse that Eve would be ruled over by her husband, or other features of the deception of Eve, or the role of the serpent, or something like that. But interestingly, we see absolutely no features of the narrative of Genesis 2 and 3 anywhere else in the entire Hebrew Bible. The closest we get is just the name Adam in a genealogical list in one passage in the books of Chronicles. No one else seems to know or care about the story of the Garden of Eden. Now, if we leverage those passages from Genesis 2 and 3 and try to leverage the authority of the Bible, we're actually rejecting the authority of whoever produced Genesis 1 and wanted it to supersede and replace Genesis 2 and 3. The texts are not univocal. They say directly different things. In fact, one exists precisely to correct and supersede the other. If we appeal to features of Genesis 1, we're rejecting the authority of Genesis 2 and 3. If we try to harmonize the two, we're rejecting both of their authority in the interest of constructing a new third thing that was not intended by any of them. So as you see people wielding the Bible as a tool of oppression, of marginalization, of structuring power and values in their own favor, keep in mind that nobody is doing this because the Bible demands it. They're doing it because it helps them, and the Bible is just the proof text. It's just the authority for their identity politics.